Hey everybody, 10th class physics 6th chapter. In this session we are going to know about the Bohr's model of hydrogen atom and its limitations. What do Bohr tell about the structure of atom? What is the model of Bohr to know about the hydrogen atom? This thing we are going to know in this session. The Bohr's model is mainly depend upon the Planck's quantum theory. Max Planck said that the electromagnetic radiation does not emit in the linear manner, means it is not a continuous wavelength, means the electromagnetic radiation is emitted in distinct values in the multiples of h nu, 2h nu, 3h nu. On the basis of the quantum theory, Bohr explained the structure of hydrogen atom, that is called the Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. What does a line spectrum tell us about the structure of an atom? Niels Bohr proposed some important points. In that, the first one is electrons in an atom occupy stationary orbits, or they will be in the stationary states, and their energy levels are distinct, and they depend upon the distance from the nucleus. That's why the first point and important point in the Niels Bohr's atomic model of hydrogen is electrons in an atom occupy stationary orbits of fixed energy at different distances from the nucleus. For the shortest distance, the energy level is low, and when the distance increases, the energy also increases for the orbit. For example, he named the first energy level as the first orbit, and with the notation K, second one with L, third one with M, fourth is N, capital letters. The energy level of the K orbit is E1, and the energy level of L is E2, and for the M it is E3, for the N it is E4. When an electron jumps from a lower energy state, that is ground state. Ground state means the natural state of a electron, where it gets the maximum stability, means where it is very stable. That is called the ground state. If the E1 is the ground state of an electron, if it jumps from E1 to next energy level, that is higher energy level or excited state. Excited. Why excited state? If the energy is absorbed by an electron, it is excited and goes to the next level. That's why the next level or higher energy level is called the excited state. When electron jumps from a lower energy state to higher energy state, it absorbs the energy and when it comes down from higher level to lower level, it emits energy. But when it goes from E1 to E2, the energy which is absorbed by the electron is equal to the energy when the electron jumps from E2 to E1. Means if it goes to higher level, it absorbs the energy which is the difference of the two energy levels. and it emits the energy which is the difference between E2 and E1. The energies of an electron in an atom can have only certain values E1, E2, E3. Means in between the E1 and E2 there will be no electrons. Means the first energy level E1 represents the first orbit and second energy level E2 represents the second orbit. In between E1 and E2 there will be no energy states. That is, the energy is quantized. It is proposed by the Max Planck. The states corresponding to these energies are called stationary states, and the possible values of the energy are called energy levels. Energy levels means the energy of an electron in a stationary orbit is fixed, and it will not be changed until it is in the same same energy level or same orbit. When it jumps from lower level to higher level, it absorbs the energy which is equal to the difference of these two levels, and it releases the or emits the electromagnetic radiation when it jumps from higher level to lower level. That is always with the same wavelength. That's why for an atom the wavelength released by the electrons is fixed, so we get the color of the flame which is equal to the released radiation's wavelength. So we got an idea that the energy which is released by the electron causes the color of the flame. The lower energy state of the electron is known as ground state. The electron moves to a higher level when it is excited. Now let us know some more things. Does the electron retain the energy forever? The electron loses the energy and comes back to its ground state when it cannot sustain the excited level. The energy emitted by the electron is seen in the form of electromagnetic energy, and when the wavelength is in the visible region, it is visible as an emission line, means spectral line. This is the important thing which told by the Bohr, means the electrons in the atom revolve around the nucleus in the stationary orbits. The energy level of the stationary orbit is fixed. That electrons in that orbit have the same energy level. When it gets the energy which is equal to the difference of the next level, then it is excited and goes to the next level, and when it needs to jump to lower level, it releases the energy. These are the main things explained by the Bohr. Bohr's model explains all the spectra observed in the case of hydrogen atom. It is a successful model. As far as line spectra of hydrogen atom is concerned. The important thing to keep in mind is Bohr model not depend on the experiments. It is proposed on the basis of the earlier experiments and earlier theories, but it explained very successfully. It led the next level of atomic models. That's why it is very important to know. But the line spectra of hydrogen atom, when observed through a high resolution spectroscope, appears as group of finer lines. Means when the magnetic field is applied, the line spectra become the finer lines, means the smaller lines in the line of the spectra, means the line in a spectra divided into smaller lines when observed through a magnetic field. This is called the Zeeman effect. This happens even when the electric field applied. That is called the Stark effect. These two effects explains us that the fine lines of spectra are there in the line spectra which are not explained by the Bohr. So the main limitation of the Bohr's model is it could not explain the splitting of line spectra. Second thing, it could not explain the chemical bonding. So these two are the limitations of the Bohr's model. Thank you.